Ole Miss fans need a hotel for the game weekend? Many OTAs keep all the commissions, but at Fan Plans, you still get your loyalty points, receive direct confirmation from the hotel, and you support Rebel Grove. Visit fanplans.com/Rebel Grove today.
Welcome into another edition of the Troy Brown Show, presented by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. I'm Neil McCready. That is Ole Miss linebacker Troy Brown. We'll talk about Ole Miss's loss at LSU. The Rebels go to Baton Rouge. Things kind of went south starting in the second quarter. The second half did not go well. Ole Miss loses 45-20. The Rebels now get ready to turn the page, head to College Station to play Texas A&M Saturday night. You can see that game on the SEC Network. It begins at 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This podcast brought to you each and every week by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great products and services. We got a little taste of the cold weather, then it got warm again. You know what that means. The cold weather's around the corner. Be a really ideal time to get your heating system checked, make sure it's safe, that it's ready, it's operational. If you live in Oxford, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, you can do that by calling Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Memphis, Hernando, that area, you can get yours checked out by calling the people at Southern 662-429-4429. Troy, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. That was a diplomatic answer on your part. Let's talk about the physical hurt first. I guess a couple of weeks ago against Kentucky, you were kind of banged up. Maybe it was against Tulsa. I can't remember. You got banged up, upper body. You said, "Hey, I'm gonna do the best I can." You kind of went through a week where you didn't practice much, but you played. And then you kind of got better last week, and then looked like you either. I don't know if it was a new injury or you aggravated the old one, but second quarter against LSU, 2 minutes and change to go, you were in a lot of pain on the field, and you did not return. How are you feeling?
I mean, it's a day-by-day thing. I actually had a sprain a couple weeks back. Just been trying to, take it day by day, really. Some days it's feeling bad. Some days it's okay. So, going into the game, I felt confident. I felt good about it. But I mean, a play went wrong and kind of re-injured it. It was to a position to where I couldn't really, move it a lot. So there wasn't much I could do.
You went in at the half. I'm sure that you spent the half trying to see if you could get it to where you could go. I saw you come back out and kind of go through warm-ups. Did you know at the half that, hey, this is probably not gonna work out for me?
After when I got into warm-ups is when I really realized, because I was trying to do A skips and do bursts and try to do a run motion, and my arm literally couldn't go past my pec. So it was then when I knew that, I couldn't go.
Watching the second half, you guys struggled with Jaden Daniels. You got off to a good start with him, and then the second quarter was they had a couple of touchdown drives. It was obvious that LSU was kind of finding a little something, and then in the second half, watching from the sidelines as your teammates just really struggled to stop them. I think they had 4 touchdown drives in the second half. How difficult was that just to stand and watch?
I get more nervous watching the game than I do play the game. And I hate watching the game, especially when I'm supposed to be playing in it, when it's my team, when I have a part, when I have a say-so in how the game turns out. It's just frustrating. So a part of me wanted to really just go in the locker room and kind of just shut off, but I knew I needed to be out there to help motivate my other teammates and and try to help them find the winning edge to pull the dub out. So it was just a lot of emotions.
Obviously, you, AJ Finley, awfully important to this defense. I mean, you don't have to say it. I will. I've watched every game. You guys are older guys. You're veterans. He's been at Ole Miss forever. You've played at Central Michigan for a while. Now you're at Ole Miss. This is a big opportunity for you. Both of you have made the most of it. Y'all been on top of the tackle charts, 1 or 2, 2 or 1, pretty much the whole season. With both of you out, how big of an impact did that have on the defense?
I think it impacted a lot, and it kind of showed. There's just two leaders out there, two guys who are relied on to make plays when things might spill out and stuff like that. AJ's a great guy. I mean, a great athletic safety. He'll put the cap on anything deep, and also in the run game. And then me, just being solid in the run game and not faltering to runs and QB runs and stuff like that. It's just I felt like in the second half we got away from what we know that this quarterback can do and what we've seen them start to revert to, and we didn't adapt. And that was frustrating to see because I feel like I couldn't do nothing about it.
When you say that about Jaden Daniels, is that kind of not being disciplined with angles and that kind of? I mean, obviously, I haven't played football in a long time, and I never played at this level. So when you go up against a guy as talented and as mobile as he is, what was the kind of the plan against him?
We were prepared for what he can do with the ball. We honestly felt like the guy last week, the Auburn quarterback, could run it better. But it was just little small details. Guys just tracking the hip, not being lazy, not running high, wrapping up, not throwing your shoulder. It was just real small things, man. And it's just, when you go over the tape, you just see them show up here and there, and they're just so small, but they make the biggest difference in the play. So, yeah, we just got to get back to the basics.
For you, not only are you getting back to the basics, but I know it's another week in the training room. It's another week of trying to get better. How optimistic are you that you'll be able to play at Texas A&M?
100%. I know I'm going to go out there and I'm going to start the game, and I'm going to play how many ever minutes I can until. Well, I don't want to say until. If anything else happens, then it happens. But I'm going to be out there.
All right, a word from our sponsor before we kind of turn the page here on the show to Texas A&M. A word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. It can be tough to train your brain to stay in problem-solving mode when faced with a challenge in life, but when you learn how to find your own solutions, there's no better feeling. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals, no matter how big or small. I've used therapy as a way to handle stress, clear negative thoughts, mentally relax a little. It's a life changer for me. It can be a life changer for you as well. And if you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp's a great option. Get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey. Switch therapist anytime. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can help get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/MPW today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/MPW. Turning the page to Texas A&M. I mean, not many football teams go undefeated. Overcoming adversity and bouncing back from a loss is something that great teams have to learn how to do. You've got the loss. There's nothing you can do about it. It's on, and you got to turn the page to Texas A&M. How difficult will that be for this team after all the winning that it's done?
Well, it gives us a different mask to wear going into the next week. But hopefully we can just have the same mindset, not get down on what happened this week. Just learn that if we do the small things that we know how to do, the things that we've done to help win games and to pull out games in the past this season, we just need to revert back to that, revert back to being us. We always try to tell ourselves that you is enough, you know.
This is a Texas A&M team that has had its fair share of struggles. They're 1-3 in the league. They're fortunate, frankly, to not be 0-4. Their game with Arkansas was kind of touch and go the whole way. The ball hit the goalpost at the upright, I should say, at the end. They're desperate for a win, getting home, starting to run out of time to salvage anything in their season. They do have one of the better running backs in the SEC, maybe in the country, in A-Chain. Have you watched him much? How big of a challenge is he going to be, not only for you guys, but for everybody that he plays?
Very fast guy, track speed guy. Not very easily do you find somebody that's like this. But like you said, they've had their struggles, and we're trying to look to exploit those things. Hopefully and get an edge on the running back. If we shut them down, hopefully we can get them to a one-dimensional team and have them throw the ball and stay in some lanes and stuff like that. But I've watched him, not really their scheme much yet. So I'll see,
How different is it preparing for a guy like him who's, speed fast as opposed to like a Tank Bigsby who, he's kind of physical. Quinshawn Judkins with you guys, who's a physical guy who will take you on. A-Chain likes to shift and get into the open field, and then he's a handful at that point.
I feel like we have two great scout team backs that mimic that, and Matt Jones and Fred. They're not big guys. They're small, little shifty little dudes, and Matt Jones actually earned himself a spot to score during Vandy just by him being in practice and making moves on the ones and just showing that he can make plays. So I feel like if those two go hard this week, in which they normally do, we'll have a great look at what this guy is like in the open space. On another hand, we have guy Ulysses. He's shifty in the open space, so going against him here basically. So,
how important are those guys? They're the unsung heroes in a program. Nobody talks about the scout team guys, but on Tuesday and Wednesday when you guys are out getting work, they're important because they're what helps you get ready.
Most definitely, especially when those are some of the days where you're feeling the worst. You're feeling your body is not the best, but those guys are out there fresh, ready to go, ready to work you, ready to not really care about, how you're feeling, but to do what's necessary to push you to have a good practice and have a good look of what's going to happen Saturday. So I appreciate them so much.
What was the environment like in Baton Rouge? You've been down there before, but was it different as an SEC player going against LSU and that crowd, 100,000 strong?
Yeah, man, it's like the crowd didn't stop this time. Last year, I guess it was a big crowd. They were in it, but this year they didn't stop, and it was a little heckler in the back of me. I was talking to the whole team, and it was just, it was cool. I guess I wasn't fazed by it, but
what was
it was cool. Yeah.
What was he saying?
He's like, you guys look tired. You're playing tired. Are you tired? I'm like, man, it's the fourth quarter, like 2 minutes left. I won a game, bro. What are you talking about? Are we tired? Game's over.
What struck me was watching them come down, and I've been to 30 games if I've been to one there, but they come down and they're yelling at the cheerleaders at the end of the game on their way out. I mean, they're heckling everyone. Cheerleaders. I guess they would have gone over and heckled the band if they could get over there. It's like, why are you yelling at a cheerleader? She didn't play. Come on, and be cool.
Man,
it's a different place. It has a different environment than really any other place in the league, at least that I'm familiar with.
I'm so mad we ain't ruined that. That would have been fun.
Is it hard to get over a game like that? Is it? I mean, I know everybody says 24 hours, but is it? That's one thing to say, and it's another thing to do it. It's easy to forget a win in 24 hours and move on. Is it hard to let a loss go?
Yeah, yeah, because it's not a feeling you want to feel again, so it sticks a little harder. And when you win, you're going into that week with joy, with okay, yeah, I'm ready to feel this again. I'm ready to feel this again.
Yeah.
But then when you lose, it's like it's stuck on you. It's like I do not want to feel this way again. So what do I do? What do I find out from this game? How not to feel like this?
I want to get to a couple things. We'll get since we're both talking about losses. We both suffered losses in our picks this week, Troy. Our picks are bad. You went 2-4. I thought
I was going to do so good this week.
I can't heckle you. I can't say anything about you or your picks being tired or anything because I went 2-4 as well. I'm 25-23 for the season. You're 21-27. I guess here's the bad news. Maybe it's the good news. I'm not sure. There are only 2 games in the MAC this week. So, I mean, 2 games. That's all. That's all we have. We have Toledo is at Eastern Michigan. Toledo is a 10.5-point favorite at Eastern Michigan. So Vegas clearly thinks Eastern Michigan sucks.
Didn't they just Toledo just let me know?
I think that's true. Yes, I think they let us both down. They bombed.
Oh.
So Toledo minus 10.5 at Eastern Michigan. I'll go first since I'm ahead. I'm not sure what that means at this point. I'll take I'll take Toledo and lay the points.
I'll take Eastern Michigan.
All right. And then the other big game in the MAC this week, only 2 games. They must be getting ready for some Tuesday games next week. That's all I can think of.
Yes, sir.
Miami of Ohio is at Akron. Is it the Red Wolves? Red Storm? Red Hawks.
Red Hawks. Yeah.
Red Hawks. The Red Hawks are an 8.5-point favorite over the Zips.
I'm going with the Red Hawks.
Yeah, I am too. Akron's terrible. I'll take Miami. So we'll differ on Toledo, Eastern Michigan. So all right, we won't do this next week because you'll be getting a weekend off, I guess, or a week off, a little bit off, some healing time. After Texas A&M, you guys have an open date after Texas A&M. You get ready for Alabama after that. So we'll get together in 2 weeks, which means we won't talk again before Halloween on the show. I was asking the other guys, Mason, Davison, about Halloween candy. Are you a big Halloween guy? Did you dress up as a kid? Did you have a favorite costume?
Yes.
What's the costume you remember?
Scream mask with the blood in it, and then you have the heart and you pump the blood.
Oh, I used to have that. I used to have that costume. I had it as an adult, and I dressed up when the little kids came, and I turned the corner and to scare a kid, and it turned out it was his dad. It was a dad holding a little kid, and the dad kind of freaked out, and he almost dropped the kid. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. If I'd hurt the kid, I'd feel so bad, and so I threw it away. I'm done with that. But it was fun. I scared some little kids, but then when I scared a dad, I was like, maybe it's too scary. I mean, I could still feel that emotion of, oh my God, he's going to drop that little girl. And it was terrifying. And so I'm like, nope, no more. What's your favorite candy? When you were a kid, what was the candy that you wanted to pull out of your jack-o'-lantern or your bag or whatever? What was the one candy that you were fired up when it was there?
It would have to be like a king size Twix or Snickers. Like I was a big chocolate kid, especially when it came to Halloween candy. Chocolate, it had to be chocolate. So
that's not one that you hear very often. You hear most people say Reese's or stuff like that. You don't hear Twix very often, but Twix is that's a good candy, man. That's a good one.
By far my favorite.
Davison said Nestle Crunch, I think.
Our crunch bars are all right, but
Yeah, I used to like those a lot. I used to really like Nestle Crunch. When I was a kid, I liked Baby Ruth, but I think that was because I thought it was like Babe Ruth and not Baby Ruth, you know. So I don't, now that I think about it, it's not that great of a candy.
Yeah.
Really not. But the marketing worked. You know, I was like, hey, Babe Ruth. Is there one that if you got it in your bag, you're like, no, I'm not eating that. I'll give it to somebody. I'll throw it away, whatever. I'm not doing this.
Tootsie Roll, of course. You give me a Tootsie Roll, toss it.
I'm the I'm the exact same way. They're horrible. They serve no purpose at all. They make no sense. Make no sense at all. All right. Well, listen. Are your little ones going to get to trick or treat? They're going to get to dress up.
Most definitely.
What are the costumes? Do you know yet?
Little son is going to dress up like Woody.
Toy Story.
And my daughter is going to be a princess.
Okay. Well, she is a princess. That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, hey, listen, I hope that you have a great week. Hope that the shoulder starts to feel better. Look forward to seeing you playing in College Station. Good luck against the Aggies. And as always, Troy, appreciate the time very much. This show brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Don't forget, get in touch with those guys now before the cold weather swings back through. You have a little reprieve from it. And you want to make sure that your heating system is ready to go and that it's safe to turn on. Sometimes you can have some issues when you haven't run it in several months. So get it checked out. Comer and Southern, great service, great people. They'll take great care of you. And tell them that you appreciate them making the Troy Brown Show possible. So for Ole Miss linebacker Troy Brown, I'm Neil McCready. That does it for this edition of the Troy Brown Show. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.